recommended that no public money should be spent on a national fibre optic grid. Critics of government policy say that Britain stands to lose its edge in the field and the thousands of jobs that would follow a government decision to back the new technology. Our political correspondent Anne Perkins has been to the French resort of Biarritz to see how one nation is looking to the future.
Biarritz, not so much a glamorous resort for princes nowadays, or a sunset home for France's elderly bourgeoisie. But it's also the testing ground for the world's biggest experiment in the application of fibre optics technology. Under the city centre streets, strung from suburban telegraph poles, 10,000 kilometres of fibre optic cable has been laid. In these improbable surroundings, 1,000 subscribers have been linked to a communications revolution.
This is a video phone. The dream of generations of science fiction writers has finally been realised.
All you need is this bit of kit. It's a telephone, a camera and a screen, all in one with a dialing pad. And of course you need the fibre optic link. It costs about £3,000 and there aren't many of them around at the moment. On the other end of this link now is Jean-Jacques Terry of France Telecom.
Mr. Terry, how long has it taken to develop a video phone?
The concept of fibre optics is an old concept, but in laboratories in the 70s, the fibre optics looked very promising, but it needed to be used on a normal network to know if really it could be extended to a large scale. That's the reason why the Biarritz experiment was created.
For the past 10 years, the Biarritz experiment has been developing applications for fibre optics.
Bonjour, madame.
The video phone's being used in a community policing experiment, giving the town's many elderly residents visual contact with their local hobby-bobby. Madame finds it formidable.
C'est une chose extraordinaire.
France Telecom, though, is more concerned with commercial applications. At the old casino, a video library is being built up. The subscriber calls up a list of films in stock and the times they're available to be shown. At the video library, the request is registered and at the appropriate time played out to all the subscribers who requested it. The French government, through the state-owned France Telecom, has spent £70 million on the project.
What we have learned in here mainly is to put the fibre optic from the laboratory to the town. Now we can say that we can draw fibre optic, we can use it, we can connect it without huge problems.
It's just this kind of development opportunity that the British fibre optics industry is looking for. No one doubts that fibre optics can revolutionise communications. The question, especially in Britain, is who is going to pay. Britain leads the field in the technology of fibre optics, using beams of light to carry information down threads of pure glass. The inner core of a fibre optic cable is 1/100th of a millimetre thick, finer than a hair. It's coated in a low refractive material to concentrate the light and then coated again in plastic for protection. Fibre optic cable can carry as much information as conventional cabling 10 times as thick. It can carry sound, data and picture simultaneously. But the real revolution is that it's capable of interactive or two-way communication on a single fibre. BT has already laid 300,000 kilometres of fibre optic cable, mainly on long-distance routes where old copper wiring needed replacing. But linking up the entire country would cost £20 billion. Just before Christmas, a government-backed committee rejected state funding for a national fibre optics grid. The opposition says without it, Britain's lead and much else could be lost. From its office on the site where Marconi once worked, BT distances itself from that political argument. Instead, it argues that it could raise the money itself, but only if its licence obligations were relaxed.
The trouble at the moment is that it's not economic in the local loop at this stage, although it's getting cheaper all the time. And the point at which it will become economic depends on whether we can fully utilise it for entertainment as well as telecommunications. Now, at the moment, there are regulations which stop us doing that. We can't put entertainment over our telecommunications network.
And the DTI report specifically ruled it out, even though cable TV companies can carry some telecommunications.
Well, under the 1984 Cable and Broadcasting Act, there was really a dual strategy. And part of the strategy was that cable operators would be a third force in telecommunications. And it was thought at that time that in order to give cable operators a leg up, because they were literally starting from scratch, that they needed the ability to carry sound and pictures and also telecommunications as a dual package.
I don't call that free competition. If you're going to allow cable television and satellite people to compete on telecommunications, why can't you let the telecommunications people compete on television now rather than perhaps at some later time? We have the chance to have a British lead. We have the only fully liberalised, privatised telecom authority in Europe, and that gives them a freedom and gives the British government a freedom to allow market forces to come to play. I don't want government subsidy, far from it, but what I do want is government support.
With Biarritz's government-backed experiment, it's even possible to order flowers by phone. And to see what you're choosing. BT is now asking for a special dispensation from the ban on carrying pictures so it can run an experiment like this one. But clearly the technology can be made to work. The real challenge will be the battle between the telecommunication and the television industries.
Anne Perkins.